Good evening, everyone. I am Cameron Ivy, Connectional Director of Communications for the Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society, and I am so excited today to be having this conversation with the Dr. Pernessa Seele. Just to get some things out the way first, we would like to thank you so much for having this interview pre-recorded due to previous scheduling conflicts. We also want to send special thanks to Bishop George D. Crenshaw and the Star of Zion for using this virtual platform. So, again, as I said before, we are having a one-on-one conversation with the Dr. Pernessa Seele. She's an interfaith public health activist and founder and CEO of Balm and Gilead. It's a religious based organization that provides support to people with AIDS and their family. So, without further ado, let's get started and let's welcome Dr. Pernessa Seele.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Miss
Yes,
Cameron Ivy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Thank you for that introduction. And I want you to know that 36 years later, we, the Balm and Gilead, we are not just working with HIV and AIDS anymore. We are building the capacity of our churches to address all
Yes.
life-threatening diseases. Certainly, we started out with HIV 35 years ago, but now we are across the spectrum from Alzheimer's to peripheral artery disease to diabetes to kidney
Mm-hmm.
disease. It's God is just good.
Yes, yes, he is. Well, I'm so excited to be having this conversation with you. Very honored and such a pleasure to be learning more about you and the organization and some upcoming events that you have with the Healthy Churches 2030 conference. So I heard this is the 10th annual conference. So happy anniversary with that.
Thank you very
And
much.
it's November 13th through the 16th, and it's virtually. But let us know what's the purpose of Healthy Churches 2030 conference.
Well, again, starting out with the Balm and Gilead, our mission is to build the capacity, is to strengthen the capacity of our churches to be that community hub when it comes to health conditions. African Americans, we have the highest rates of just about everything.
Mhm.
And oftentimes, I don't know about you, but I've been in church when someone died on Sunday or someone
Oh,
died in doing choir rehearsal on Wednesday
wow.
nights. And so we believe that, every church serving Black people should
Mhm.
have a health ministry. And if not a health ministry, some kind of auxiliary that is focused on health and have information, information that you can give someone some in their hand, or that you can see, Sister Mary didn't, not she just didn't look right, but we know that she may have been over medicated, or
Mhm.
she might make sure that we have some orange juice or something in the kitchen, make sure she doesn't go into diabetic shock. Or
Yeah.
there's so many things that we just miss just on Sunday morning, or when people are just coming to the church or just in our community. But we need every church to be a community hub for health disparities. So that brings me down to Healthy Churches 2030 Conference. And this is our annual gathering of churches from across the board to get where public health and faith connect. And we work all year. We have
Mhm.
a robust program and a robust agenda, but we work all year. We culminate with this conference in November, where we are bringing the best of public health and the best of faith
Mhm.
together and encompass it in praise and worship. We
Ooh,
start every
yeah.
morning with praise and worship. We close it out with praise and worship. But it's the meet in between that's so important, because we have to make sure that we have knowledge, not just on disease prevention, but into new interventions, how to talk to your doctor,
Yes.
interventions that usually we are the last to know about,
Mhm.
in our community. So we are excited about Healthy Churches Conference, because this is where we want everybody to come and tarry with us for these 4 days, 13th through the 16th, and to just be a part of an exciting agenda where you get to interact with the best of the best in public health and faith.
I love that. I love that. This is going to be my first time attending, so I'm super excited to see what's in store and what you guys have planned for us. So, let's talk about the topics. What kind of topics will you guys be covering? Will it be something for the younger folks like myself? Will it be something for our elderly? What kind of things will we be talking about during this conference?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because when we're talking about health, let's take for instance Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
If I say we're going to be talking about Alzheimer's, you may say, "Well, not interested in that." But the reality is that Alzheimer's really start at your age.
Ooh,
It just doesn't show up until my age or later. And we're finding through medical interventions now that so many of diseases that we have high rates of, like genetic kidney disease, like
yeah.
multiple myeloma, like peripheral artery disease, like Alzheimer's, like all of these diseases that don't show up in our
Hmm.
body until we're like 50, 60, 70, and sometimes they show up earlier, but they really begin with no symptoms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when we're thinking that I don't have to worry about that, this is now the time to worry about that, because taking again Alzheimer's as an example, we know that we have African American women. African American women have the highest rates of
Hmm.
Alzheimer's in the country. Now you think about, you have millions, black, white, blue, and green people. This is just an epidemic. Alzheimer's is an epidemic
Right,
in
right.
our country and around the world. But black women have the highest rate, and then black men, and then everybody else.
Hmm.
And we know that goes back to the chronic diseases that we experience throughout our lives: high blood pressure, diabetes, all of these things that we don't think about in our 20s and 30s, but the symptoms are there. Now that we have genetic testing, cell therapy, these are new interventions that now can tell us about what's happening in our DNA, that we can even not even, we can get that information at a young age, so that we can address it all throughout our lives
Hmm.
and not have to get Alzheimer's at the end. So this is the kind of conversations we are having. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Kafu Dezaris, and he was our keynote speaker in 2019, I think. And he is a phenomenal brain scientist, and he's doing some innovative work. And the brother's fine. I got to tell you, the brother is fine. If we agree on anything else, our ages may be different, but
But we
Miss
can agree
Ivy,
on that.
we can agree that the brother's fine. And he is assistant professor of the Center for Neuroengineering at Duke University. And his topic is, and this is right out the gate, what does it mean to be human?
Mm.
What does it mean to be human? And I just I get excited when I'm even talking about what does it mean to be human. Another exciting scientist we have is Dr. Robert Wynn, and he is a major brother all over the country in cancer. And I mean, he's done. If you just do Dr. Robert Wynn,
Hmm.
he is one of the greatest physicians living on the planet today when it comes to cancer. And he's one of our lead speakers, and he's going to be talking about, the power of asking. The
Ooh,
power of asking. When you go to your doctor, the most powerful and most impactful thing you can do
it's
when you
just
go to your
asking.
doctor is to ask questions. So
Hmm.
his topic is the power of asking and its impact on cancer. How about that? And so those are two that I want to just lift up, and we have just so much information around that. And of course, we have our faith leaders. Our opening keynote presenter is the Right Reverend Dr. Yvette Flunder, who is presiding bishop of the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries. Uh, will be our a keynote talking about what does a healthy church look like.
Hmm.
Isn't that a question? What does
Yes,
a
yes.
healthy church really? look like? And I'm excited about that because, in 2020, 24, 25, we have to struggle with coming out of tradition. Tradition is great.
Yeah, yeah,
Tradition is
it
great.
is. It is. Yeah.
Hallelujah. But what is a healthy church for the 21st century? And
Mm-hmm.
yes, Jesus is the center of ministry. Yes, Jesus is the center of our joy. But we have to really have serious conversations today because of you, Miss Ivy, because what do you first person you said, what do you have for me? What do you have for me, the young people? And but the same thing we have for the elderly, we have for you because
Mm-hmm.
it's the spectrum. You just find yourself on that same spectrum at a different point that I find myself, and that Dr. Barbara Shaw, my board chair, who is one of the greatest women that ever walked the earth, President Emeritus of Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society of Zion. We're on different points of the spectrum, but
Yeah.
there is only one spectrum, and getting your generation on the spectrum and being a part of this intergenerational spectrum is vital to our existence. It's vital to our existence and to our changing the trajectory of health behavior in the Black community.
Yeah, I love that. I'm very excited about this. I really do need to learn more, but let's let's talk about why should people attend? I know you discussed earlier about um looking for things early at this point, such as myself, but why should people attend this conference, and what can they take away from this?
Miss Ivory, do you know that a couple of months ago, recently, a new report came out that the life expectancy of Americans are now have decreased.
Oh, no.
The life expectancy of Americans have decreased. America, the richest country in the world,
Mhm.
America, the greatest healthcare system in the world, America, folks in other countries like Costa Rica, Thailand, African countries, other countries
Mhm.
are living longer than us in America. Now, this is
Wow.
across the board. This is across the board. Black, white, blue, green, life expectancy in America is decreasing. Now, if life expectancy in America is decreasing, for Black folks,
Yeah.
it has really decreased, I think, from whereas the mainstream life expectancy was 78, our life expectancy was 74, and now it's down to 70.
Wow, that's still young. That's still pretty
It
young.
is. It is, but we're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
We're going in the wrong direction. And so the question becomes, why? Well, there are several reasons. One is the high rates of infant mortality among our babies, infant mortality, and our women and our babies are not surviving childbirth.
Mhm. Yeah.
The other thing is teenage suicide. That's another topic that we're talking about at the conference. These rates are so detrimental that it's actually decreasing the life expectancy of a nation.
Mhm.
That's how off the chain it is. And then, although we have the greatest health care, we don't have access. We don't have access. Most of us don't have access. In this country, if you can't pay for it, well,
You're
you
not
may not
getting
get
it.
the best of the best. And you may get it, but if you don't know the questions to ask, that may be a challenge for you. And that's why this conference becomes important. If I can just get folks to understand that your health is important, it's more than just praying.
Yeah.
More than that, it's about getting to understand the body and how it works, and how stress plays. That's me, stress.
Mm.
Lord have mercy.
You and me both.
How does stress play in it? How does arthritis, and what can you do now to prevent the arthritis that I have in my knees, you know. And but it's all of these psychosocial issues that are so key in our community, in our
Mhm.
congregations, and in our families. Mental health is a
Yeah.
serious issue in our families, in our communities. We just can't pray this away. You know what I mean? Prayer gives us, opens the door on how do you get to the right people who is going to address your situation, you know? And personally, you know, when we talk of mental health in our community, you know, we just get confused because we tend
Yeah.
to think that if I could just talk to Jesus, it'll be all right. Well, if that was the case, the black community talking to Jesus would make the black community perfect. Because yeah, I mean,
We do it
nobody
all the time. We do it
nobody
all the
talks to
time.
Jesus like the black people, you know. We would be perfect people if that's all we needed was to talk to Jesus. So it's so critical that you know everybody come and you know
Mhm.
be a part of Healthy Churches 2030. We have something for everybody from worship. Vashawn Mitchell is our worship leader
Ooh,
every morning. Every
that's a
morning,
good one.
um, Vashawn Mitchell is going to start us out, except for Wednesday morning when we go to Africa and our brother Doctor Pastor Benjamin Dubé. Dubé, who is one of South Africa's greatest gospel leaders, will be leading Wednesday morning. Um, so we have something for everybody, and it's so important. And because of that, you know, we want to make sure that everybody has access
Mhm.
to Healthy Churches 2030.
Like I'm excited. I'm the more you talk about it, the more excited that I'm getting. So I'm so I'm just ready for this
I'm ready
conference.
for it too. I'm ready for it too, Miss Ivy. I'm ready
I'm
for
ready
it.
for. And then you said Vashawn Mitchell, like it can't get any better than that, can it? I'm
It
a
might, it can get better than that, but
I'm a
I
worshiper.
can't tell you about it right now. But it can get better than that.
It's surprises. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what can local churches do now, or even after the conference, when they learn about um, health disparities and what they can do to prevent that down the line? What can we do to help our communities and members live a strong and healthy life continuing forward?
Well, first I want to make sure that I give you information about getting on the conference.
Hmm.
But this conference is not about the end all is not the conference. The conference is the beginning. The
Yeah.
conference is where you come to get information, and you can interact with folks in the chat. If you register for the conference, you have access to the entire platform for 6 months. And then it's time to roll up your sleeve and say, okay, I may not be able to do everything, but you know what? Let's start a walking group. Let's get folks out here walking on Wednesdays.
Hmm.
You know, well, let me call the Balm and Gilead, and maybe we can host a healthy eating diabetic prevention program. Let me see. Maybe we can just do. You don't have to start big. You can start just simple. And that's why every year we have our best practice awards ceremony on Wednesday evenings, where we honor this year, I think, 18 churches
Oh
that are
wow.
really doing exceptional things. And so many AME Zion churches have and others have gotten that
Hmm.
award. And again, this year I think we have about 2 or 3 Zion churches getting the
Oh
Best Practice
yeah.
Award this year as well. And these are churches who take the time to say,
Hmm.
look what we're doing here. Look what we're doing. We were in the front of COVID. You know, we were there making sure that people got their vaccines and making sure people got information. We run a fitness piece. We talk about nutrition in the church on Sunday mornings. There's so many different things. You can do something. There's something that everybody can do to help people in their health quest.
Yes, and that leads me to my next question. With the Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society, we have a great partnership that we've been been going on with Balm and Gilead. So, what do you think we can continue to do in partnership with you to support you and just be an advocate in your initiatives and your events that are coming in the near future?
Well, I first let me give a shout out to the international president, Miss Sandra Crowder.
Yay,
Yes,
Madam
indeed,
President.
Madame President,
Yes.
who is also a member of the board of directors of the Balm and Gilead. I just thank the AME Zion Church. We started in 2006 under Dr. Barbara Shaw and and Sandra Crowder.
Yes.
She was our first national director within the AME Zion Church, and brought the AME Zions, the CME, and the AME missionary societies together and formed the African American Denominational Health Leadership Initiative. And long is always long, right? It's
Yes,
always
mouthful.
as always. And that initiative actually got a congressional citation, and it's in the
Mm.
Congress. It's logged in the Congress in Washington D.C. because it was the first time that three historical Black churches came together with a nonprofit organization to address health. And I cannot thank the Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society, as well as the AME Zion Church. Bishop Battle is we won't let him go. He's
Yo,
still a member
no.
of the board. Bishop W. Darren, he's my bishop. I'm here in Mid Atlantic, so
Okay.
I own him. But I've been knowing him since he was in Centennial and I was in New York. But Bishop French, I can just go down. Bishop Walker. All
Yeah.
of them since 2006. The AME Zion Church has really been, a strong force with the Balm and Gilead, and I cannot thank you enough. But the work is long.
Yeah.
The work is long, and we have so much to do. And I can't rest until every church, the AMEs, we have a health AME Zions, we have a health coordinator at every level within the
Mhm.
Episcopal district, within the presiding elder district, in the local church. We've been working very hard to put the infrastructure in place so that every church knows that that's my health coordinator. And then we provide resources and information to that health coordinator so that she will be strong in her ability to help those to give information about this. So it's a circle. It's a complete circle, and we have to keep oiling that circle, keep working that circle until we can decrease the amount of health disparities in our community and in our congregation.
Well, thank you so much. I've learned a lot even in this short amount of time. But what can people do to register for the conference that's coming up?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Um, we have what's most important for me tonight is that I'm inviting all of our churches to become a faith partner with this conference. A faith partner is pastor. I'm talking directly to you. A pastor who is going to say, I believe in healthy churches. I believe in this conference, and I want my members I want to be a group. I want my church to be a group. And I'm going to get at least 50 churches, 50 members to pay $35
Okay.
under my group. So, let's just say, Shaw Temple AME Zion Church down there in Atlanta, who I spoke
Yep.
to earlier this morning, who said yes. You know, um, let's they'll get a group, and let's get as many of Shaw Temple, at least 50, but we know we're going to get a whole lot more than 50 to register as a group. As a faith leader, you'll get listed on our website,
Mhm.
on the Balm and Gilead's website, on the Healthy Churches Conference website. You'll get a shout out from me during the conference, and you'll get a certificate of partnership after the conference. So, this is how we need your help and getting people to access this conference. So people will say, well, I'm working. Well, it's virtual. And I'm keeping it virtual because I can give you this $1,500 value conference for $35 if I do it on virtual, because the value was $1,500. So I can give it to you for 35. You people have their AirPods in their ear all day long, all day long.
All day
You know,
for me.
you're looking at your phone all day long, even when you're at work. You know, I know for the folks who work at the Balm and Gilead, they're on their computer, they're doing their work, and they got a laptop over there watching CNN because or watching whatever, and it's like, but they're doing their work, they're getting their work, but they're so accustomed to the white noise after COVID has just changed the way we even do things. So,
Yes.
Being at work is not an excuse this time, because we know that you get it done when you get it done. So churches, pastors, please join us as a faith partner. And then just a group of 20 or more, $35 a group. But we really want churches to become a faith partner. And you can get more information on that by going online at hc2030.org, or you can go to our website, balmingilead.org. If you want to register as an individual, it's $50 as an individual. But we really, really, really want you to help us get these groups, get these faith partners for $35. And you're getting a value. If you've ever attended Healthy Churches, you know you're not going to miss it, because this is our 10th year. So you know it's going to be the greatest ever, 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 ever.
Yep. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final remarks, any thanks you would like to give out, any shout outs?
Just again, just thank you to the entire AME Zion Church. And I know that you always stand with the Balm and Gilead, and you will stand with us for this conference and beyond. AME Zion, and also our international members. You know, they're able to get their comp code, because we don't want to leave them out. And all your missionaries who are missionaries of our foreign members, just call in and we will give you a code for our international members as well. And we're very serious here at the Balm and Gilead. We're moving into our 36th year, and God's grace is so sufficient.
Yes.
But we are serious about the task that God has given us, and we need the AME Zion Church and every member, every pastor, every bishop to really, really, really stay hand in hand with us, because we have a mighty work. We have a mighty work to do. And when you think about the life expectancy of your grandkids today is less than what it was when you were born, that's work. That the life expectancy of your grandchildren, the life expectancy of your children born today is less than what it was when I was born. That says, God, we got to get busy.
We have some work to do. Yeah.
We have some work to do. So thank you so much. If you need to get in touch with us, please call Keisha. I love saying call Keisha. 804-644-2256. She's there to help you with those groups and help you with whatever questions you may have. 804-644-2256. Go to our website, balmingilead.org.
Thank you so much again, Dr. Seele. Viewers, this will be available immediately on demand on the Star of Zion platforms and AMEZ TV. And do not forget to always check out AME Zion social media platforms and subscribe to the latest AME Zion news and beyond. Again, I am Cameron Ivy, Connectional Director of Communications for the Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society. And Dr. Pernessa Seele, I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much, my sister.
Thank you. Bye. Hey everyone, we just had a wonderful interview with Dr. Pernessa Seele. Let's check out what's coming up for the Balm and Gilead.
Transform your mind, body, and soul at the Healthy Churches 2030 Conference, November the 13th through the 16th, 2023. Make a difference in the health and wellness of the Black community, presented by the Balm in Gilead. Register today at hc2030.org.